Chatty? It's
Hello.
Chat.
Oh,
Hello.
thank you
Okay.
so
Oh,
much, Chelsea.
all right. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Can you give me the presenter so that I can share my screen?
Can you see the screen right now? The presentation is supposed to be shown
Oh, okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Just use this one. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good rest of the early week. My name is Chadi. I am the cloud solution architect for modern work and security, and I'll be focusing on helping you guys understand what is Microsoft Copilot, and at the same time going through some scenario library or use cases that might be more focused in terms of role based. So today we will be going through HR, day in the life journey. But before that, let's move on to the next slide. Awesome. So today we'll be going through Microsoft Copilot for M365. There is a lot of Microsoft Copilot licenses available online. There's Copilot for security, Copilot for GitHub, Copilot for Azure, and Copilot service. So all of these Copilot licenses, you can think of it as an AI assistant that depends on what type of solution you're working on. But for Copilot for MT65, it's really focused as an AI assistant for your work specifically. Next slide, please. All right. So Microsoft Copilot for MT65 is embedded inside MT65 application like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Microsoft Teams. So how it looks like is if you open up your Office client, there will be an additional button on the right side of the screen that says Microsoft Copilot. So it looks like just a simple button or a simple add-on of Copilot, but at the same time, whenever you're trying to draft emails or whenever you're trying to create like responses or create a new document, Copilot will be there to help you and assist you with drafting those types of requests. Next, please. All right. So these are some of the workday efficiencies with Microsoft Copilot. Um, these are some of the uh, work use cases that a lot of employees are looking at now. So it can help you in terms of summarizing long PDF. So if you guys are going through a lot of tender documents or a lot of reportings that is maybe jargon filled or like some information is something that you guys might not be able to understand fully, then you can ask Microsoft Copilot questions like summarize the PDF, make it into five simple bullet points, or you can ask them specifically like what does this mean, can you help me research from the web how this document compares to this website. You can do those as well. Another one is if you are an email person and you like replying through a lot of emails, it can help you also draft email contents a lot easier. If you're someone from marketing, you can also create social contents or details that Copilot will be able to assist you to draft, kind of like an EDM, electronic document, mailbox, or for example, you want to create like your own specific marketing campaigns, then you can use Microsoft Copilot to help you draft the content and even add photos as well, which leaves us to generation of images. So whatever images you want to ask Microsoft to do, it's stock free, meaning you can use for commercial purposes, or you can use it for your own maybe advertisements or own PowerPoint slides or presentation for your internal use as well. Next is learning new skills. A good thing about Copilot is because it's connected to the web and because you're able to ask questions connected to it, you're able to maybe get learning path if you want to pass a certain certification or if you want to improve your speaking skills or your other learning curve skills that you need to do, then you can ask Copilot to draft a learning path for you. And lastly, what I use Copilot a lot is when it comes to complex questions that it's a bit hard to research online because maybe, Microsoft has so many information about certain things, and sometimes licensing can be a little bit uh, complicated. So you can use Microsoft Copilot to maybe get answers from all these complex questions instead. Next slide. So to be able to understand a little bit better on Microsoft Copilot, so since Microsoft Copilot gets data from two things, it gets data from the internet, and it also gets data from your Microsoft 365 center. So meaning all of your Microsoft 365 messages, meetings, chats, file sharing, user details, or calendars, all of these information Copilot will have access to. So it's important to ensure that your tenant is ready for AI to prevent content oversharing. Like, for example, you got sensitive business data that someone accidentally uploaded inside a public SharePoint site. You have to ensure from your end that all these data are kept safe and that there won't be any issues from content oversharing or data leakage. So other things you can do is either you can reach out to Access Orange to do kind of like a co-pilot assessment, readiness assessment, um, to scan through your environment and see whether or not your tenant is ready for Copilot. What are the specific privacy policies that you need to turn on? You need to also check your SharePoint sites if the right people are included, and you can choose to classify sensitive data into sensitivity labelings also. Next up. So this is kind of like a background of Microsoft 365 compliance and controls. So if you have Microsoft or Office 365 licenses, then these are the set of security or baseline security that you can do. You can do multi-factor authentication. If you have E3 or Business Premium, then you can do additional security controls like conditional access or manual sensitivity of labels that are non-Microsoft or even Microsoft documents as well. And lastly is if you have E5 licenses, then you're able to do automation of sensitivity labels, meaning if you want to label certain documents that has credit card information, then you're able to do a quick scan and all of those sensitive documents will be set up as confidential or highly confidential or will be only be available for employees only. So you're able to do that with Microsoft 365 E5 licenses. Next. There you go. So some of you might be asking like, what is the difference between the free version of Copilot and Copilot for Microsoft 365? So the free version of Copilot is available for you to guys to like explore around with. Just open up Microsoft Edge, right? And on the right side of the screen, you'll be able to see Copilot. If you click on the Copilot icon, you're able to do something similar to ChatGPT where you can ask questions and it searches from the web for you. The only difference or the main differences between the free version of Copilot and the paid version, which is 30 USD per user per month, is the graph grounding. So it means that Copilot for M365 has access to your M365 data, which makes which makes AI a lot more focused with work documents or really helping you in terms of assisting you with work specifically because it has access to all of your work documents and work files. And it also has access to Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio, you can build your own chatbot, but you can only publish it. The limitation is you can only publish chatbot within your organization only, meaning within Microsoft 365. If you want to be able to create your chatbot and publish it externally, then you would need to buy additional add-on, which is Copilot Pro. Yeah, so this is the main differences between the free version and Copilot for M365. Next, please. So what are the Copilot eligible SKUs for you to purchase Copilot as an add-on. So a lot of people ask me like, is Copilot already available with Microsoft 365 E5 licenses? The answer is no. All of these, Copilot is considered as an add-on, meaning you need to have the right base license, which is Business Basic, Business Standard, or Business Premium. It can also be Microsoft 365 E3, Microsoft 365 E5, or Office 365 E3 and E5. So these are the base license that you need to consider before you purchase Microsoft Copilot.
Okay, thank you, Chatty, for the thorough explanation about Copilot. And now Singaporean government are providing up to 50% subsidy to help Singapore small and medium enterprises, SMEs, purchasing Microsoft 365 Copilot to build AI capabilities. Microsoft Enterprise Singapore and AI Singapore are working together, aims to support local SMEs in enhancing your productivity and AI capabilities through the use of M365 Copilot. And we, Access Orange, are one of the assigned partners for the grant program. We will have a dedicated team helping you to adopt Microsoft's Copilot and submitting the application for this grant. And the sign up period starting from now until November this year, and it is the first come first serve with limited spots. The grant support up to 50% of the Copilot license cost, capped at 50 supported licenses per SME. Each licenses means one company email account which can use Copilot under M365, as Chetty has mentioned, and the M365 system is being issued under company purchased. For example, say you have purchased and gained the license and activate the license today on June 6th, 2024, then you will gain access to M365 Copilot for 1 year, which is till June 6th, 2025. And about the eligibility, to apply for this grant has to be eligible. The eligibilities SMEs should meet the requirements such as entity register and operating in Singapore, has at least 30% local equity held by Singaporeans, annual turnover not exceeding 100 million or not exceeding 200 employees. You will need to submit a declaration form stated above mentioned, and we will guide you through it. And about the cost, special grant offer for annual license with 50% off subsidy now is only $243, capped in 50 licenses per SME. And as you may ask how to set it up and how to use Copilot to help you with work, we provide Copilot onboarding service and work smarter with Copilot for Microsoft 365 training. For Copilot onboarding services, we provide comprehensive setup services for M365 Copilot, review and configuration of customers' M365 environment, along with the provision of adoption materials. The duration is up to 15 working days with different implementation phases, as you can see on the slides. And as for the training, we also offer training includes hands-on demos, security practices, usage strategies, and discussions specially tailored for Singapore SME landscape. We hope to help you optimize your work through excelling with M365 Copilot. Now we have come to the end of the webinar today. Now, please let us know if you have any questions regarding today's seminar. Feel free to leave your questions in the chat room. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat room. Not so far. If you have, yes.
Hi, Chelsea. Sorry. Um, yeah, I wanted to also do a short demo with the Microsoft Copilot so that our audience will be able to see how it looks and how
Okay,
it
sure.
works.
Sure. Can
Okay.
you share the screen? You
Yeah,
can take
yeah.
over. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Let
you.
me just share my screen. Okay. So yeah, I think it's very exciting um that right now Singapore is really investing a lot with AI, especially with small to medium businesses such as yourself, right? You guys have this chance for you to take advantage of this grant, which is 50% off for Microsoft Copilot. So you can sign up with Access Orange um, if you guys have any questions after all. But before that, I wanted to really help you guys understand some of the use cases with Copilot. And today I'd like to introduce to you Omar. So Omar is the lead HR for a regional bank, and this is his day in a life journey. So he starts his day 9 a.m. starting with a blank document with Copilot. He can ask Copilot to create a job description. He can also go through Copilot for Teams to summarize threads or ask Copilot to compare different CVs. So let me show you some demos that I have here today. So here we have Microsoft Word. So for this specific demo, I have here opened up a Word document asking Copilot to draft me a job description of an IT manager with 10 years experience in M365 implementation. So usually the way a lot of people do, right, previously is they search for this question on the web and then it takes them maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes for them to get that template that they're looking for, and then copy and paste that inside a Word document. But here you already have the format created, qualifications created, introduction created, and the benefits that's associated with joining my company if you want to be hired as an IT with a background of M365 implementation. So you can see here, there's a lot of details and it already created this draft for me to use. And if I have like additional requests that I want to do, I'm able to do that, or I can highlight this certain paragraph, ask Copilot to revise or change the tone of the document itself. Another thing I can do is I have this HR recruit chat and I'm able to ask questions depending on what was the conversation inside this chat to summarize what was discussed, what are the decisions created, and the suggestions that is made by the team. So you can see here it also puts in a timestamp and also puts in the name of the person who discussed about certain things, and hey, this candidate should be able to talk or speak in English and Chinese because most of our clients will be within um, uh, most of our clients is within Chinese speaking countries as well. I can also go through Copilot web to be able to ask questions similar to how ChatGPT works. So for this scenario, as an IT, I want to be able to compare some of the CV coming from Tony Lee and CV or resume coming from John Lee. I want to be able to see who is more fit or more suitable to join my company, specifically when it comes to looking for this type of role, right? So you're able to do that. I can upload the document here, ask Copilot to see who's more suitable. If you want to maybe add in more description, then you can put compare CV of these two people and at the same time say that this is the type of that job responsibilities that I'm looking for when it comes to hiring a new person. With this specific scenario, it already created this summary of the differences between John and the differences between these two candidates in terms of IT management and leadership skills as well. Another thing I can do is I have this demo PowerPoint presentation, and I wanted Copilot to create a presentation for me about an HR initiative of 2024. So it's very short. The description and generic is very short. But even if I put in those details, right, Copilot will be able to create a slide for me that's specific about HR initiative. And it will also include speaker notes. It will include photos that is really relevant to the slide that I want to create. And it will also add in details as well. So usually we just wait for it to work a little bit, depending of how long or how vague your question is. Usually it takes maybe around a minute or two for them to create this type of slide. Yeah. And once it's done, you can notice that there is this, sorry, this slide is already created for me. It includes productivity and innovation. And if you go scroll down from the bottom part, you're able to see slide notes that's also created here. Right. So I think when it comes to understanding how Copilot will be really helpful is that there's a lot of people who joins a company and does a lot of things, right? And Copilot is able to be there as your assistant without having to to hire another person to do something like recruitment experience or employee meeting. You can use Microsoft Copilot to help your existing roles and be able to help you in terms of human resource manager, department hiring manager, that's specific within looking of improving the way the way the way your company works. It also helps you improve onboarding time. I think one of the key challenges that a lot of HR face is that whenever there's new people coming in, every person has a different type of learning path experience that they go through, right? So if you have this onboarding documents or onboarding videos that you've already created, you can try to talk to your employee and ask them, what are the learning curves that you guys are used to? How do you learn very fast? What are the things that you want to implement? And if they give you those types of feedback, then you're able to ask Copilot to create kind of like a learning curve, learning path that's specifically for audio learners, specifically for visual learners, so that they can create this onboarding experience for them that's a lot better. Employee turnover rate. So if your employees are more satisfied with their job, so they see that AI or the tools that your company is using are relevant to the way that they work and can help them with their productivity, then employee turnover rate will be longer. People will be less stressed, less bored with and focus on higher value activities like something that AI cannot do, which is build human relationships, talk to people internally, create plans, execute the things that they've planned out, and yeah, reduce overtime requirements. So that's my demo overall as a day in the life of an HR manager. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Then I'll be happy to answer all your questions in the chat.
Thank you, Chatty. Now, do you have any questions? Please leave your questions in the chat room. Anyone? All right. Okay. So are there anyone from the teams want to say anything? All right. Thank you for participating. And feel free to reach out to us if you want us to help you embarking towards this work smarter journey. And I hope you all have a nice rest of the day. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, there's a question.
From
Somebody
Vicky.
raised their hand.
All
Vicky,
right,
yes.
Vicky on. Would you like to state your questions maybe in the chat room?
And you all did not allow the mic.
Yeah, I think the audiences have no authority to turn on. Can you? All right, can you turn it on? Your microphone?
No, no. I just
I
want to
I
say
can.
thank you. I feel quite happy to hear all the information.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
that's good
you.
to hear. Thank you so much, Vicky, for the lovely feedback.
Thank you so much.
Any more question from anyone else?
Yes, Tony?
Tony need to allow mic.
Yeah, my question is that, as mentioned, to get the Copilot working, there should be the basic license, right? I mean, the M365 maybe standard or premium. So does it matter if for the customer, if they purchase those license from another vendor and then purchase the Copilot license from us? Does it matter? That means they purchase two types of license from different vendor. Yeah, that's my question. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question, Tony. Um, Technically speaking, there is a way for you to purchase Copilot and M365 base licenses with another vendor. But from maybe Access Orange side to get the subsidy, do they need to have the base license with you guys, or is it okay to just buy the Copilot licenses as a standalone?
Let me maybe answer these questions. The customer if already have a tenant and a license with another vendor, but however the vendor is not one of the approved ESG partners, they can actually just temporarily allow us to access their tenant by invite, and then we can actually issue the Copilot license to the tenant.
Yeah, okay, understood. Thanks.
Thanks for the question, Tony.
Any more questions? And that's all. If not, we will end our this webinar.
Okay. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.